I'd like to contrast what I'm going to talk about with what Dr. Ashadi just talked about. I'm going to talk from the general location navigation perspective and the certified aviation perspective. Those are different GPS market segments than the high precision segment that was just discussed. So, first slide. Oh, I've got a ticker. I'll do that.
There we go.
There we go. The first thing I'd like to say is that Garmin is very supportive of broadband, and we realize this is good for the country. And you know, we would like to see broadband go forward, but we don't want to see that go forward at the expense of critical infrastructure like GPS. Garmin has participated very consistently throughout the entire LightSquared process. We were active participants in the FCC mandated TWG, the working group. We were very active in the general location and navigation subteam and also the aviation subteam. We participated in the Las Vegas Live Sky tests that occurred this spring, and we also participated fully in the recent NTIA testing that went on at Light Sands. The DLN devices were tested last week. So I'd like to just go over the testing results to date. At the end of the TWG process, LightSquared represented that over 99% of the installed GLM user base and cellular devices were free from interference. We don't agree with that math. In reality, only 29 of the many thousands of deployed GLM devices were tested in the TWG process. Moreover, the 99% free of interference claim is based on a harmful interference criterion of 6 dB of CNI degradation. That's quite a big departure from the accepted 1 dB standard that's normally used. LightSquared also used a propagation model that Garmin felt was very unsuited for an interference analysis. It was more appropriate for a communication link budget analysis. LightSquared's 99% figure also presumes that we're only going to use the lower 10 megahertz of frequencies, and that's still far from decided, that only the lower 10 will be used. I'd like to just remind everybody that the vast majority of devices tested in the TWG group failed miserably at the upper 10. And so having the upper 10 still on the table really casts a pall over the whole process and kind of looms over us as, is that going to really happen? So I'd like to say that, you know, the reality is that there is a major jamming issue on the installed base of GLM devices using the lower 10 frequencies.